This is chapter 16 and 17 summaries. They both talk about law and business associations. Chapter 16 starts out with the factors that influence a business manager's choice of organizational form. This includes tax ramifications, control considerations, potential liability of owners, ease and expense of formation and operations, transferability of ownership interests, and projected life of the organization. The types of business organizations in the US include sole proprietorships, which is one owner. It's cheap to start up, but that person is responsible for all the profits and losses, and that person has total control. There are partnerships where there's two or more owners and the profits and losses are divided. And then there's unlimited personal liability for the partnership's debts. There's limited partnership, which is one general partner, who's usually the person who runs the business, and then one limited partner, which is usually investors. Then there is limited liability, limited partnership, which is the liability is limited to capital they contribute. There are specialized forms of business associations. There's a joint stock company, which is a partnership where company members own shares that are transferable, but all goods are held in the name of the members who assume partnership liability. Syndicate is investment groups that privately agrees to come together for the purpose of financing a large commercial project that none of the syndicate members could finance alone. There's a joint venture, which is individuals, partnerships, or corporations making a private agreement to finance, produce, and sell goods, securities, or commodities for a limited purpose and or a limited time. Then there's franchising, which is commercial agreement between a party that owns a trade name or trademark and the party that sells or distributes goods or services using that trademark. So that's where we see what we see with a lot of restaurants and stuff like that, like Applebee's, Chipotle. All those places are all franchises. Chapter 17 talks also continues on about law and business associations. So there's a corporation, which is a legal entity created by state law that raises capital by issuing stock to investors and is a single legal person. The stock is the capital that a corporation raises through the sale of shares that entitle the shareholders to certain rights of ownership. There's classifications of corporations, which include closely held, publicly held, domestic, foreign, alien, multinational, subchapter S, professional, benefit corporation, and nonprofit. The creation of corporations is done in 3 steps. So the first step is incorporation, which consists of selection of a state of incorporation, securing the corporate name, and the preparation of the articles of incorporation. Or the preparation of the articles of incorporation. The second thing is corporate powers, and the third is piercing the corporate veil. Financing of corporations, there's debt financing, which there's notes and bonds. Notes are short-term loans, and then bonds are long-term loans that are secured. There's debentures, which are unsecured long-term corporate loans. Secure bonds, which are a type of bond that are secured by the issuer's pledge of a specific asset. And then income bond is a bond whose payment of interest is dependent on sufficient earnings. Then there's a participating bond, which is a bond that pays both interest at a fixed rate and to dividends convertible. The operation of corporations is shareholders, which elect directors and vote on extraordinary measures. And then there's a board of directors, which set corporate policy, handle terminations, delegate board functions, and then officers and managers manage daily corporate affairs. Then there's limited liability companies, LLCs, which are hybrid corporation partnerships, which separate the legal person. And then members are not personally liable.